Hey guys, it's Adam with Unleashed Wargaming. I've went to our last, second to the last bracketed tournament game, and it's a good game. It was Warriors of Chaos versus Orcs and Goblins. There's a look at the bracket, so you can see the winner of this game will move on to face my ogres in the last game. So I didn't get as many pictures as I usually do of the games. This time I had my family with me, and I didn't even think I was staying for the whole thing. So I was taking pretty much like turn overviews, some overviews of the board after each turn. But nonetheless, this is the beginning. Starting on the Orcs and Goblins side at the bottom, you can see he's got a bolt thrower, then a mangler squig right behind the building there. He's got his giant, unit of 6 trolls, another mangler squig right behind that little outhouse, a doom diver there in the back. He has 2 units of 20 night goblins with 3 fanatics in each one. And then he's got a horde of 40 savage orc biggins. I say 40, that's including the characters that are in there. He's got his general in there. I'm not sure what his build is. He's got his BSB in there with the axe of bashing or whatever, +1 attack, +1 strength, something like that. And then he's got his level 4 savage orc shaman in there as well with the shrunken head. So they all get a 5 upward. Then up a little higher, he's got another bolt thrower. He has a second doom diver out there somewhere. And then he's got a boar chariot. And at the very top, he's got a black orc big boss with on a wyvern. So it's a different build, but I mean, it's pretty cool. Warriors of Chaos starting at the bottom. He's got his demon prince, no wings on him. He's got 5 Chaos Hounds, Warhounds. He's got a giant as well. He's got 3 Skull Crushers and his BSB riding on the Skull Crusher, all with a mark of corn. He's got a chariot there. I believe it has the mark of corn as well. The blue unit is his Nurgle Warriors of Chaos. He has a Lord in there as well. It might not be a Lord, it might just be a hero. Above that is his Knights. It looks like I think he has 10 Chaos Knights. A little higher up, he's got another chariot. Right behind those trees is a Vanguard unit of Warhounds. He hasn't Vanguarded with the other unit yet. And I think that was all he had over there. But yeah, anyway, moving on. Here's a look after Orcs and Goblins turn 1. Everything kind of shambled up. The giant actually charged the unit of dogs at the bottom. They had vanguarded up past the fence. He charged them. They turned around and ran right back to where they were before. Kind of not a big deal, but it kind of hems in some of that chaos stuff there. The mangler moved up in the middle to kind of deter anything from marching up. And yeah, everything else just kind of moved forward. The trolls did not fail their stupidity. There wasn't anywhere for them to really go. So they're just kind of hemmed in back there. Over at the top, the chariot moved up at 7 inches, and the wyvern flew up on the hill out of the Chaos Chariot's charge arc, but where he can get around behind his lines. The Doom Diver, I believe it was the Doom Diver, hit this chariot, and I think between the 2 of them, both of them hit it. Took it down to 1 wound. It might have been a bolt thrower that hit it. I can't remember, but anyway, knocked it down to where it only has 1 wound left. Chaos, turn 1. As you can see, the dogs rallied at the bottom. The Demon Prince charged into the giant over on the left at the bottom. The Fanatics came out and wiped out the first unit of Warhounds, and there's 2 of them out there. One of them went over towards the Warhounds, and when they finished their charge, it wiped them out. So it didn't reach them, but they had to finish their charge and went through it, took the 2d6 and killed them all. So the other 2 went this way to kind of deter charges. And you can see his chariot turn to go face that wyvern. And other than that, let's see. There's a look at the demon getting into the giant. There's a spell going off. I think that's the miasma. Whichever one. It's the Lord of Shadow. Whichever one lowers your toughness. So he's lowered his toughness to 4 instead of 5. And after combat, the giant did nothing, and the Demon Prince put 4 wounds on him. So That's how that turned out anyway. The giant was stubborn, leadership 10, so he didn't go anywhere. Right here, I think the Orcs and Goblin player made a mistake, and it's just my opinion. And I was there as a referee, so I wasn't going to say anything or give any advice. Only rules is all I would really mention and talk about. So that Mangler Squig very easily could have jumped over and hit that Demon Prince. And 2d6 strength 6 hits. I don't know exactly what the Demon Prince had as a build, but that really could have wrecked a Demon Prince. He's only got 4 wounds, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, Mangler Squig is one of those things that can really wreck anything it hits, given the right circumstance. So, you know, a good enough roll anyway. Next picture, you can see though, he took that Mangler Squig and jumped way up the middle to wreak some havoc up here. By the way, I didn't get a picture. That first squig that was in the middle, the chariot that only had 1 wound left charged it. It was going to die anyway. So he charged that squig, took the 3d6 hits, and killed both of them. So that got rid of the first squig. That other Mangler Squig there in the middle was the one next to the Demon Prince. And he jumped up in the front like this to chaff up the front. As you can see, he managed to cast Hand of Gork and moved his Savage Orcs way up here like this. The other unit of Night Goblins moved up, released their Fanatics. One of them is right behind the Chaos Warriors. I think he killed a couple. The other 2 went really, really low, and he ended up moving them out just to block charges. So, yeah, that's an overlook of this board. As you can see, his Wyvern up there at the top flew over and landed beside the chariot, so out of its charge arc. So that's going his way. He's got a Wyvern back there behind his lines. Here we have the Demon Prince finished off the giant and the Orc and Goblin turn. I didn't get a picture of that. This is apparently Chaos turn 2. He charges them into the side of the Savage Orcs. And he's in such a way that the trolls can't charge him too, so that worked out well. There's an overlook of the board. The giant moved up. Those cards beside the Demon Prince are some cards I made for him for the things he gets for winning challenges or killing monsters. So he's got +1 initiative, and I don't remember what the other one is. +1 strength. I'm not sure. It's the Aura of Chaos, whatever that does. Ward save improved by 1, I think. So yeah, the giant moved up some. As you can see, the 2 Fanatics are right beside the Blue Warriors now. Both of them went through there, took out a rank of them. Not a whole lot, but some. And up at the very top, the Wyvern and the Boar Chariot charged the Chaos Chariot. 1 in the flank, 1 in the front. Those 2 Fanatics that went through the Blue Warriors, the Nurgle Warriors there, they popped out right in front of the Skull Crushers. So now for them to charge, unless they charge the first Fanatic, for them to charge anything, they have to go through 2 Fanatics and past a fence where 2 of them would have to take dangerous terrain checks. So they're really bogged up back there. There's a look at the Fanatics, him and everything in, causing some trouble. Not sure what this is a picture. Oh, yes, I do. That's that Fanatic that was behind the Blue Warriors, the Nurgle Warriors, went straight over through these Knights and managed to kill off. I think it just killed 1 of them. He ward saved their Zinch, so he managed to get his ward save and saved 1. And this is after Orcs and Goblins Magic Phase. When the Fanatics all moved and the Mangler Squig was gone, there wasn't really anything to keep him from charging. So he used Hand of Gork and moved his Troll unit up in front of the Savage Orcs to prevent charges coming in like that. But as you see, the giant tripped coming over the fence. That's happened almost every time we've rolled. I take giants in my army, and in one game I tried to charge him, my giant tripped. He tried to charge me, and his giant tripped. So I mean, they're always falling down. It's ridiculous. But Yeah, so his giant failed his charge because he fell down. The Warriors of Chaos made it into the Trolls. They cause fear as well because one of them has a magic item. The Chaos Knights made it into the Night Goblins. Over at the other side of the board, the Wyvern and the Chariot were able to kill the Chaos Chariot. The Orc Chariot took 2 wounds in the process, but it's not a big deal anymore. They're way back there in the back. In the combat, in the magic phase, he put off Miasma and lowered the Troll's weapon skill down to 1 so he could hit him easier. Now the Trolls, of course, are going to vomit, so they don't need the weapon skill, but it does make them easier to hit. Oh yeah, and before I go to the next picture, the Knights at the top killed the Night Goblins and broke them. There they are running back behind the Savage Orcs, and they overran into this unit. Since the Demon Prince is in the flank of that unit and has not fought yet, that will be a cascading combat. Then we move over to the next picture here. The Trolls lost combat by a couple since the General is dead. His Demon Prince, forgot to mention, his Demon Prince killed the Orc General in a challenge. And so they don't get the leadership bubble. I think the Trolls lost by 2, put them on Snake Eyes. And so they broke and ran. They got away, but it didn't matter. The Chaos Warriors ran into the Savage Orcs, so that'll be cascading combat number 2. After combat, there's a look at the Orcs that are dead. I think it was 12. Well, I only see 8. Oh, that's right. The other wounds were in a challenge. Yeah, I think he had 12 wounds total because he had some another challenge with the BSB and built up some combat res there. And then in return, he was only able to kill, I think he killed 3 warriors and 1 knight. He might not have even killed 1 knight, but I think he did. Savage Orcs were steadfast though, and they held. So at this point, the Orcs and Goblin player was just doing some math hammer crunching numbers, and he realized one more round of combat, he wouldn't have his Choppa rule anymore because it's not the first round of combat, so his strength would drop by 1. All he had to do was kill about 6 more of the Orcs, and he wouldn't be steadfast anymore. We both he called it right here. He said, good game, and I'm going to go ahead and call it. I'm not sure. I don't think it would have made a difference, but even if he lost this unit, which is the majority of it, if they held this turn, which they did, he has a long charge with that Wyvern into the back of the Knights, and that's not game changing, but it's something. It would have given him +3 combat res, 2 for the rear, 1 for the charge. No telling what the Fanatics there would have done. They might have come back through and killed more Orcs as well, but you just never know. But it was looking bad, and I think Chaos would have wrapped it up anyway. But yeah, that's where he called it. So there's a look at the bracket. The Orcs and Goblins fall out, and Chaos is moving on. So I'll be facing them with my Ogres. I have never played against Chaos with my Ogres. In fact, I haven't played against Chaos in, goodness, I'm going to say 10 years. No, maybe not 10, but it's been a long time. I think I played a 750-point game with Empire against them. But so yeah, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to try and put together the right thing. I'm trying to do some studying and figure out what works and what doesn't, doing some test rolls and all that good stuff. And I should have that one up to you as soon as we can get it going. That'll be the final game in the bracket tournament. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe and comment below if you'd like. Thank you for watching either way.